Saints' failure to get a 3rd and 1, a late bomb, and a 4th down conversion by Washington. Just like that, some 90,000 left the Redskins' home opener all smiles, while the Saints were left to wonder what happened. Hi again, everyone. Welcome back to FedEx Field. I'm Eric Ritchie, frankly stunned by the turn of events that turns a 9-point Saints fourth-quarter lead into a 5-point loss. Make no mistake about it, the Saints were outplayed in the first half, but somehow still had the lead. Then they came out with rhythm in the second half, which makes this loss even more confounding.
Felt like we were just going to explode in the second half offensively. We come right out the gate, score a touchdown, move the ball right down the field, and then the punt return. And so at this point, we're feeling pretty good, feeling like we've got a couple more left in us. Feeling like we had at least 2 more touchdowns in us, and unfortunately we just had a couple 3rd down conversions that we didn't get, and had to give the ball back to them, and they made the big plays.
They ran the ball better than we did today. I think that between the turnovers and their ability to run the ball and our inability to run the ball, those were 2 big things at the end of the game. Generally, the team that can run the ball better like that and not turn the ball over is going to win the game.
You either win in this league or you lose, and they definitely took advantage of just the momentum swing, and that was a big factor in this game. The crowd was out of it. They were already booing the Redskins. They already had, their mind made up that the game was over.
We got to make more plays down the stretch, and I feel like maybe we went into our prevent, offense or prevent offense when we could have been attacking more maybe. But you can sit up here and make a million excuses why we didn't win the game. The fact of the matter is we didn't win the game.
A pair of local products came up big for Washington. De La Salle High grad Chris Horton took advantage of his first NFL start with 2 interceptions, while Hahnville High's and LSU product LaRon Landry came up with some big pass breakups down the stretch.
It was very special knowing me, and as for me, this is my 2nd game. I ain't played any preseason games. I needed this under my belt to get my confidence up.
Can you talk about how special this one was to do it against the Saints?
Oh, this is great. If I feel like I can do it against them, hopefully I can come out and do it against any opponent.
It's disappointing. I felt like we got to close the game out defensively when you got 9-point lead, going in the 4th quarter. So we just didn't play well enough to win today.
And the fact we had a lead and then to be up by 9 and still not be able to finish, we got a lot of work to do.
Our coverage from Washington is just getting started. Coming up, we'll get Robert Meacham's reaction to his first NFL catch/touchdown. And our Saints sidebar focuses on a 3rd and 1 in the 4th quarter that might have been the difference. Reporting from FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland, I'm Eric Ritchie. We'll see you in a few minutes here on The Final Play.
Thanks, Eric. Back here in studio with Saints linebacker Jonathan Vilma. We got to hear from several players in the locker room. Let's hear from you. The defense was missing 3 starters. Scott Fujita, Randall Gay, and Roman Harper all out with injuries. How much did not having those guys affect this football team today?
Well, not having the guys it's a bigger confidence and morale issue when you have a bunch of guys, especially Scott Fujita, who's your team captain, not playing the game. It's tough to have those guys sitting on the sideline or actually sitting back in the range watching this. But the guys that we have out there, they played well. Josh Bullocks in place of Roman Harper, Jawan Dunbar in place of Scott Fujita. We had guys in there to make plays. We just didn't come up with it defensively.
Injuries part of the game. Jonathan, stay there. We'll get back to you in a minute. Meanwhile, 2 division rivals squared off this afternoon in Tampa. Turns out playing quarterback in the NFL isn't that easy. Falcons rookie QB Matt Ryan shined last week, struggled today. 2 first-half interceptions, just too much to overcome. Meanwhile, Brian Greasy played solid for the Bucs. 1 touchdown pass. Tampa bounces back, beating Atlanta 24-9. Robridge native Jake Delhomme and the Panthers rally to beat the Bears, scoring 17 unanswered to win by 3 in Charlotte. Jonathan Stewart rushed for all but one of his 77 yards in the second half, 2 touchdowns, including the go-ahead score late in the 4th. Panthers now 2-0, heading into Minnesota next week. Still to come on The Final Play, why 1 yard may have changed the outcome of today's game.
And the Redskins defense holds.
And Jonathan Vilma previews next Sunday's game against the Denver Broncos. That's coming up next on The Final Play.
You're watching The Final Play from Fox 8 Sports.
There's a lot of respect
respect for me. You know, it goes both ways. You know, I had a good stay here. To come back out and play against those guys was, you know, like good old times.
Saints receiver David Patton brings us back from break, who spent 2 years with the Redskins. Now a veteran leader for the Saints, Patton mentored second-year receiver Robert Meacham during the offseason. You can say all that hard work paid off for Meacham today. First time he's been activated for a regular season game. Only one catch, but it was a big one. A 19-yard touchdown catch from Drew Brees in the third quarter.
It was a dream come true, you know. Every little kid always want to score. They first touchdown, their first catch in the NFL, and I was able to do that. I thank God for that, and I thank my teammates, especially my receivers. They kept pushing and kept pushing me in practice, and the sky's the limit now.
How good did you feel for Robert Meacham?
Oh, great. You know, I mean, anytime he has some success, I mean, whenever you lose, there's always going to be positive things as well as negative things, and that was one of the bright spots. You know, he's coming along when he's given an opportunity, he's making plays. So hopefully he can continue to build off that and become the player that he's capable of being.
Now, when you think about today's game in the future, Reggie's punt return may come to mind, or how about that bomb from Jason Campbell to Santana Moss? But the biggest play of the game wasn't a touchdown. It was a defensive stop by the Redskins. Fox 8's Eric Ritchie puts that infamous 3rd-and-1 meltdown in our Saints sidebar.
You can call it the Saints' longest yard. Clinging to a 2-point lead, fourth quarter, 4.5 minutes to play, 3rd-and-1. In the official stat book, it goes down as Pierre Thomas, right tackle, no gain. And in this case, leads to a no win for the Saints here at FedEx Field.
3rd-and-1, 5 minutes left with a 9-point lead, and it's they call a play that, you know, you just have to convert. So, yeah, that's all about finish.
Can you take us through the play, Pierre?
You know, just getting the handoff. You know, it was really nothing there. You know, but my teammates was pushing them guys, and I tried to hit it. You know, as hard as I can, just get behind my guys and just hit it. Got to see the guy backside, but you know what it is. You know what the refs called it. That's what they call it.
Every week, you know, you game plan for those situations. Critical situation, 3rd-and-1, you got to get it. And obviously, we didn't make the play, and they did. And that was the story in the fourth quarter, and that's why they won.
Deuce McAllister saw